Hello, this is Katie with Homeschool Chat, and today we're going to talk about kindergarten through 6th grade. So if you have a child that is older than 6th grade, you don't need to watch this video at all. Today we're going to talk about stations. It's one of my favorite things. So I'm going to take a little sip of my drink and we'll get on it. So stations are one of my favorite things because when you're young, you want to you either want to get in, get out, or you really want to get focused in what you're doing. So one of the things to keep homeschooling fresh is to set up a set of stations. So let me tell you what I mean. When my youngest daughter Becca was, I guess she would be preschool, even younger than that, I set up different PlayStations. So when I was in the kitchen, my baby had a little play kitchen set. And when I was in the kitchen, I had her with me and we played with kitchen set. She did, and I did my work around the kitchen. When I was in the living room, I divided the living room into two different spots. And the entryway part of the living room was set up for reading. And of course, I had all the books that she was interested in. And the living room was set up with activities. So when she was in there, she did whatever activity I had set out. That's an example of stations. And when you get into preschool, you can use your house like that if you want to. It gives your child like another view, it's like a brand new spot to do things in. So it's really fun for the kids. So you can set them up at different places around your house. You can set that kind of thing up in one room if you want to. So for kindergarten, you can set up in your mind, I mean, the child isn't going to know it's a station, but you know. So you can set it up with a timer, without a timer, or just set it up so that when your child goes to another subject, you hustle them to a different station. It's any way you want to do it. And again, there's so many different ways to do homeschooling. Some people are going to homeschool through co-ops. And if you homeschool through a co-op, you probably won't use this because your co-op will already be set up and you'll be helping with classes in that. But I did homeschooling on my own and it was a lot of fun. So one of the things that you can do for kindergarten is you can set up a station for coloring, and then you can set up another station to practice your letters. You can set up another station to read books, or a story time section where you need to be there to read the story, or it's I had a pre-recorded thing that helped my baby to read, or I guess she's, at that time she wasn't a baby, so, but her name's Becca, so I had something for her to help her to read, and it was basically a backtrack that was reading out loud, and she read the words as that was going on until she learned how to read. Let's see, another thing that you can do is set up an art station. So you can have an example of what you want this finished work to be, and then all of the supplies next to it. Sometimes kids do really well by themselves and you can just let them do their thing. Or you can set up a station with watercolors if you want to, and paper for them to paint on. You can set up stations in your house where you have jump rope, because little kids have small toys. So you can set up a jump rope, you can set up a little steps, anything that you can just let your imagination completely go. It's a wonderful thing, stations are. Now, as you get older, uh, what I did was I focused on kind of like I guess you would say mini classes. So I did some, and one of the studies that I did was an animal study. So in this, it was a science class, of course. In this, there were different groupings of where we were at. I wanted my child to know not just about one animal, but kind of well, it was biology, but kind of like a vet kind of a thing or a zoology kind of a thing, where not only do you know the animals, but I wanted her to be able to know what the children's names are for each one of these species. And I did I wanted her to know where these animals lived. Now, of course, when we're talking about animals, bugs, any of those things, the numbers are astounding, and you can't learn everything, and that's okay. That's totally okay. Give them a taste. So my daughter, both of my daughters actually, they did this study, and they did it in about 6th grade, 8th grade, something like that. So what I did was I would have I would have some reading that needed to be done, and then after that, there would be a project that they were working on. Maybe it was putting the animals, drawing a picture with the animals in the landscape that they want, or putting the animals on a something like that. And I also had a project that it was report driven. So of course, I checked grammar and spelling and things like that, and the writing portion of it. But that was another class. I was a slave driver, so that was just science class, and I also had English and spelling and stuff like that. But you can set it up the way you want to. So all these different things based upon a project that you're working on gives the kid, your student, a new, fresh, a newness to what they're learning. So if they go into one room and they're sitting on a beanbag and they're reading, and then they go to another room to do an art project based upon that, then they go into another room to memorize some things, they go into another room to prepare cards for the report, they go into, switch sides of the table to go write the report. All of these things are they're so good for kids because it's a change of scenery. If you sit a child at a table and you expect them to stay there for 12 years and to do all of their subjects at the table, there's going to be some monotony. So this kind of gives it a little freshness. So that is about all that I have. I just want you to have a blessed day. Bye.